welcome back to the C Morning Show. The development of the digital sector has been cited as the reason for increased use of electronic devices. And this is also the reason why the amount of electronic waste keeps rising to around 50 million tons annually.
That's right, and without proper handling and management, mounting e-waste can become a serious danger, and it's estimated that the yearly amount of e-waste could more than double by 2050.
Wow, and this prompted a young Indonesian man to try and solve the problem alone. And his main aim is to raise awareness regarding electronic waste from collecting them and sending them to e-waste recycling companies.
Very interesting indeed. And so to find out more about him and his mission, we have E-WasteRJ founder Rafa Jafar today right here in the studio. Good morning,
Good
Rafa.
morning, Rafa.
Good morning.
How are you? Thank you so much
Good.
for joining us
It's my
this
pleasure to be
Saturday AM.
Thank you.
Now, honestly, out of curiosity, what is the current status and situation of e-waste, especially right here in Indonesia? I can say maybe some of us aren't very familiar yet with
Yeah.
what e-waste is.
Yeah.
But can you tell us a little more about it and how critical is the current condition for the environment regarding e-waste?
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting question. See, e-waste are broken electronic products.
Okay.
And since Indonesia is a geographic country and we have different economic stages all over Indonesia,
Right.
and so the demand for electronic products are different in every province. See, the more you buy electronics,
Right.
the more e-waste is produced.
Yes.
So that's going to be dominated by the places in Java.
Right, because they go out of date.
Yeah, they
sometimes,
go out
right?
of date sometimes,
Yeah,
and then not
they
just
don't work
that.
anymore.
Not just that,
Yeah.
because there's more new products every year,
Yeah.
and
Right.
us as consumers, we just want to buy more.
Yeah.
You know, we just want to get our phones replaced.
Oh my
What's
God!
the new phone?
I feel responsible because I just talked to Rafa about purchasing a new
Headphones. We were just talking about it.
Yeah, so
Wow.
so it's the amount of e-waste is always growing exponentially since
Yeah.
it's following the development of technology as well.
Right. So you would say there would be more in the larger cities. Obviously, there's more access to technology and whatnot rather
Yeah.
than the smaller places.
Exactly, and because the sector of e-waste recycling hasn't been developed yet,
Right.
so we're just consuming and then
Yeah.
producing more e-waste, but there's no recycling. They just get dumped. See, from the 50 million that you said earlier, only
Yeah.
about 10 to 15% is recycled all over the world.
Yeah. And I've been
Yeah.
keeping all the waste in my house now.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
people don't know. There's
I don't know
no
what to do.
places.
Collecting
Yeah,
waste.
what to
So
do.
that's- E-waste.
Yeah.
Now, I also want to know, can e-waste harm us if we keep it too long? Because it's been in my house for like 10
Yeah.
years
Gotta
now.
go.
It's gotta go, but I don't know where to.
Interestingly, e-waste is categorized as hazardous waste, so it
Okay.
contains toxic materials.
Wow.
But it doesn't, affect you instantly. It's not like you can get affected by keeping it in your house.
Okay.
So it's a very long process, and the toxic stays there for a very long time. It's about 15 to 20 years. So first you dump it,
Right.
and then the scavengers are going to take it,
Right.
and then they're going to burn it, or they're going to bury it underground, and then it's going to contaminate the land.
Very toxic.
It's going to contaminate the plants, contaminate
Yeah.
animals, and then when we consume the animals, we get contaminated.
That's where we. Okay.
Yeah.
It goes
And
back
it's a very
to
long
us.
process, right? It's not instant,
Right.
but because it's hazardous toxic, it stays there for a long
Yeah,
time.
it's been my concern too, because if I just dump it in the trash can, I know that it will
Yeah.
go. I don't know where
That's
will it
not a
go.
solution.
Yeah.
That's why we always say that trash is not the right place for e-waste.
Yeah.
It's not always the right place.
Yeah.
Right, because it obviously circles back to us, and like you said, it's a very long process. So
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily come back to us. It could be our children, our grandchildren, right? And I'm so curious. You're 19.
Yeah.
So presentable at 19, and you mentioned that you studied law. You are studying law.
I am studying law right now.
And so, what prompted you to become interested in electronic waste management?
I started this 8 years ago, 11 years old.
Wow.
You started this at 11 years old.
Yeah.
Where were we at 11 years
I
old?
don't know. I was playing
Shut
hide
us.
and seek.
Wow.
The beginning was I loved playing games.
Right.
And every gamer has their own setup, their own computer, and I just like buying new electronic devices until my drawer was filled with e-waste. My cables, batteries,
Yeah.
mouse, headphones, earphones.
Yeah.
And I was just curious, where should this go?
Okay.
That's actually a
was
really
just-
good point.
yeah,
'cause,
and-
I mean, yeah. Sorry,
And
go on.
I'm fascinated with the advancement of technology, but then again, what's the end life? What are we gonna do once
true.
once everything's broke?
Because, once something new comes out, you want the next best thing, or, oh,
Yeah.
it's broken, I can't fix
Yeah.
this. Time to get a new one.
Exactly.
But at 11, what did you do then? At 11, I mean,
How did you start?
It was very simple. You don't have to think it's very complicated, everything. I had a movement to collect e-waste from my school, from my house. I wrote a book about it. I published a book.
Published a
and then it just grows very organically from there.
Right.
Wow.
Since,
Kind of happened naturally.
yeah, it happens naturally. And since I'm also growing up, I'm also learning about some things. I went from elementary to middle school to high school, learning
Right.
new stuffs. And
Is
it
there
just goes
a
all the way.
connection to you being, very active and interested in e-waste management, but at the same time studying law? Like, what's the correlation there?
Yeah, I really want to pursue this e-waste management sector, and so that's obviously developing a business and also understanding the compliance, the legal,
Right.
and everything.
Take
so
it to the next level. In a
yeah,
few years,
and
right?
we have a team back in our headquarters, so it's not just me. So we're
Okay.
diversifying the people that goes into college. We take people that, okay, you want to take the studies about electronic waste. I'm
Right.
gonna take law. Someone's gonna
Wow.
take
Also,
finance,
different
everything.
parts of everything
Yeah.
coming together.
Yeah, you gotta diversify your team.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that.
Everyone can be a lawyer in a team.
That is true.
Okay. Now, let's talk more, Rafa, about your community called WasteRJ.
Yeah.
So, what is the group's main goal, and what kind of programs your community has done so far?
Yeah, basically we wanna bring access to everyone to recycling, e-waste recycling. We want everyone to be able to recycle e-waste. It's gonna be something easy for everyone to do, not just for people, households, but also for business, industries, and everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm creating a platform for e-waste recycling that enables e-waste management for everyone.
For
So we're connecting probably people from you that have e-waste in your house,
Yeah.
and then even businesses that produces e-waste every year through recycling companies.
Right.
So we enable e-waste recycling for everyone.
And you're based in where's your HQ?
We're in Jakarta.
In Jakarta.
Yeah.
Okay, right. And how many people do you have in your team right now?
About 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not big yet, but we're doing
Yet?
a job.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Now, I feel like, electronic waste, especially managing them, is not very familiar yet
Yeah.
in Indonesia, right? And of course, with that being said, how long have you guys started this?
7-8 years.
7-8 years,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, throughout 7-8 years, you've faced some challenges, right? Some
course.
obstacles, especially with the familiarity right here in Indonesia. Can you maybe share with us a few of the challenges that you have faced over the years and how
Yeah.
you've conquered them?
The fact that e-waste is not a common knowledge yet,
Right.
e-waste recycling becomes
Yeah.
a more uncommon thing
Yeah.
Among people. And so it's just not easy to introduce what e-waste recycling is.
Right.
Since it's not the same with, let's say, plastic
Waste
recycling.
management, yeah.
Yeah.
You can do plastic recycling in your own backyard, but e-waste recycling, you need all the factories, machines. It's a toxic waste, so
Yeah.
you need certifications. It's not as simple as just making it into something new.
Yeah.
Like your bottles, you can make it into something new.
Yeah.
But e-waste, you need a proper process, and it has so many compliance.
Yeah.
So it's not that simple to introduce it to someone. And so
Right.
we're an e-waste management company, and you just don't get it for free. It's something that you have to pay for and stuff like that, and it's something that people don't get yet.
Right,
So-
because it's not just, like you said, as
Yeah.
easy as,
Yeah.
doing it in your backyard. It
Yeah.
requires a whole process, and you do need machinery for that as well, right?
Yeah.
And it's not easy to introduce e-waste in a sense because people don't really actually care about waste. So when I bring a topic about, let's say, humanity or child trafficking, they can get emotionally connected, but it's
Yes.
about waste. People don't really actually care about it.
That's true,
Yeah.
and maybe because it's a longer process, right? People
That's
tend to
right.
be more emotionally connected with
That's
something
right.
when it's right in front of their eyes and
Yeah.
it's instant, but then
Yeah.
something that requires an
Yeah.
amount of time
Yeah.
for it to sort of evolve.
Yeah.
They're not as attentive about it
Yeah.
per se.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes time.
It takes time,
progress.
but thank you for reminding us that we have responsibility
Yeah.
of managing
welcome.
our e-waste. Now we also want to know what is the proper way to dispose e-waste? You know?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
right up until now, I don't know.
I'm still, very confused.
I'm
about
clueless.
it too. We both are.
Since then again, I said that you need the proper machine certification to do that. You can't basically do it by yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why in E-WasteRJ we provide drop boxes for people to throw their electronic
Nice.
waste.
Okay.
You know, there's organic and non-organic.
Yeah.
Our mission is to have one more, which is electronic waste.
Electronic.
So there's always going to be three. Right now there's three. We're going to make it 4 or 5. One drop box that is specifically for electronic waste. That's what we're trying to do.
Do you have that now already?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. In different areas?
We have in several places, schools.
Where
public places.
whereabouts?
Dropbox.
Maybe? Yeah. Where are your
It's around
drop
Jakarta. You can
Okay.
find it in our Instagram actually. So I
Okay.
don't exactly remember
There
every
you go.
point.
Instagram? There's too many.
Yeah, it's
So what is your Instagram handle? So for
E-WasteRJ. People can check it out.
E-WasteRJ. There you go. Just in case. I'm going to check it out after this, by
Yeah,
the way.
sure.
Because
Of course.
now, like Inez, I feel like I have so much e-waste laying in my house, and like I've, things that I've had since I was like 6. I never
Yeah.
really knew what to do with them.
Yeah.
Because you want to give it away, but it doesn't really work anymore. You want to throw it away, but you really can't.
And people have sentimental values. See.
That's true.
True.
Like my Nintendo DS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
like,
it's
you don't
like
want to throw
around
that
6.
away, right?
Yes, and
So,
my
like,
first iPad.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, iPods. Back in the day.
Yeah.
God.
But like, what can you do with it now?
It's
right?
interesting. It's
It's-
interesting.
Sentimental value for sure. Now, how many electronic waste would you say you have collected specifically of last year?
Yeah. Last year,
2022.
2022, more than 4 tons. of
4
electronic
tons.
waste. Yeah. But that's not a lot actually if you compare with the amount of e-waste that we produce every
Yeah.
month, every
Right.
year. So yeah, we're getting there. And
Okay.
actually, the way to solve e-waste is not just by recycling as much as possible, but also by consuming less.
Consuming less. I'm
You
so
only need
sorry.
one phone, guys.
I'm-
Yeah, people have 2 phones.
You don't need
3
the next new
phones.
iPhone.
Oh my gosh, you made me feel bad after purchasing that.
Yeah,
Have you purchased it?
Yes,
Also,
already.
you met.
but actually, it's not entirely your fault because producers come with new products every year.
True.
They have new types
Yeah.
like the first and second generation is actually just like different design.
Yeah.
It's basically the same. You just want to buy it, so it's not entirely your
There's
fault.
always 2 ways of looking at things,
Yeah.
right? I mean, with the continuous improvement of technology,
course.
it's great, but then at the same time, where is it
Yeah.
all going when
Yeah.
you don't use it anymore?
Yeah.
Great point.
This is a big problem for us. Now, last but not least, Rafa, what is the future outlook of e-waste management here in Indonesia?
Yeah, I see the industry developing in 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here to create a platform that connects these e-waste recyclers to the ones that wants to dispose their e-waste.
Right.
Since the knowledge is growing, people, of course, they're going to understand what e-waste is the next few years. The industry is going to grow, and we also have EV, electronic vehicles, coming.
Yes.
That's going to be a huge topic in the next 5 years. So
That's true, and it's already
yeah.
starting to become
it's already
one, right?
starting.
And I think
It's already starting for people to use it.
Exactly.
There's going to be e-waste cars.
Oh my
you know.
God.
Such
Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like people are now just more aware of being more environmentally friendly, and I
Yeah.
feel like this gives it a platform for people to become
Yeah.
more aware and
course.
more knowledgeable about
Yeah.
e-waste management as well,
We're all striving for incremental growth, step by step,
step by step.
little by little.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
but
Right?
surely.
That's the saying.
Thank you, Rafa. But before we let you go, maybe
Yes.
you can share one message that you want people to know about e-waste.
Especially the younger generation like yourself, the Gen Zs. What can we tell them? Because the
course.
future is theirs, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, it takes 15, 20 years for it to process, and by then it'll be their world. They'll
It
be
is.
dominating.
It's going to be my world.
It's gonna be your
It's gonna
world.
be my
So,
world.
what would you like to say to your fellow Gen Z friends about how we can really fix this problem?
Yeah, e-waste is a very interesting topic that we can talk about.
Yeah.
See, people talk about climate change and other challenges, but this is like people only focus on the development of technology,
Yeah.
but not the waste that we don't see. And so let's start being a more wiser consumer, smart, and a more responsible consumer of electronics. See, everyone needs to contribute to this big, giant issue, and I can't just solve it by my own. We need help from everyone.
Yeah. Teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rafa.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rafa,
Thank
for
you.
coming
Good
in
luck.
today. Very inspiring indeed.
Yes, indeed. All right, that was our second talk show of the day. We are up for another short break. And in the meantime, don't forget to follow our social media accounts if you haven't already. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at C Today News. We
Yes.
still have more for you, so stay tuned with us.